we will be discussing about the most important geopolitical pivot, that is India and USA. It's sometimes considered as a devil's nest. Okay. Now, when we talk about India USA, right? So we should not consider this as some kind of routine bilateral relation, because usually what all we will be covering, we will cover something about trade. Okay, we usually cover something about diaspora. We will even cover about defense. Okay, but if we look at the pattern of UPSC examination or the PYQs, they don't ask questions around these things. There is some different kind of a pattern. Okay, so based upon your understanding, I mean, till now, what you have understood, what do you feel that what should we cover in India USA relationship? I mean, I'm saying we should not cover trade, diaspora, defense. That they ask with other regions like Asian regions, extended neighbors, immediate neighbor. But for USA, UPSC has different theme. So, what could be the point of our interaction today? Employment, that will be diaspora. Employment in India. That means you are trying to say economic gain, is it? Okay, some kind of economic gain, but that again it will be part of trade. Strategic convergence. Strategic convergence. What about it, sir? Can you please some detail like Indo-Pacific? Okay, then Quad. Like what? Yes, sir. Defense. Nah. I mean, there is a defense, but it's much broader than that. I to you to, yeah, that will be part of this. I mean, that is Indo-Pacific. Even Quad is Indo-Pacific. So we can say that one dimension we have covered, that is Indo-Pacific. What else? Think about, if I give you a hint, think about USA's objective with respect to world order, India's objective with respect to world order. Yes, in the back, ma'am. I mean, just I am repeating again. Think from two lenses. First is India's objective, and second is USA's objective. If we brainstorm on that, I mean, till now, what we have observed, what are India's objectives with respect to world order? Leader of global south. It wants to lead global south. Okay. Other than that, strategic autonomy. India wants to maintain its strategic autonomy. Then, multipolar world. India is also seeking a multipolar world. Then, rule plays global order. Okay. Now, what about USA? What is USA's objective? The foremost thing is to maintain its hegemony. Sorry, counter China, because in order to maintain hegemony, they have to, or they want to counter China. Yes. Any other point? I mean, based upon this, what can you say that how are they coordinating among themselves? I mean, these are the two objectives. I mean, this is the main objective, hegemony, and this is India's objective. So, how do we think that they are both interacting? Sorry, common object. What is the common objective? China. China. Yes, we can say that one common factor is China, right? And that is a lead of global south. This can be say one common factor. Russia, USA doesn't want it. समझ नहीं है. What? India doesn't. USA doesn't want it. Okay, that is we are saying that is a point of divergence you are talking about. That is the divergence among USA and India. That is Russia. Yes. So we can say that USA is not using, we are saying that USA is making India to lead in overall Indo-Pacific region. It is giving that kind of position or support to India. It is on a bilateral level. Multilateral level things are quite different. There are many stakeholders. Okay, so from this we understood few things that by this we can say that we have certain idea about the relationship that India and USA are playing. It's just we are not able to say that in words, right? That please understand, bro, kind of thing. So what we can say that UPSC wants us to develop a lens from which we have to judge one important thing. Now that important thing is that how India navigates the world order. Okay, that is the first thing. Now, In continuation of that, how India navigates the world order where USA is a system shaper. Well, USA is a system shaper. But disclaimer is that the world is no longer unipolar. So when we read about India and USA, we have to understand one lens, or we have to develop one lens from which we have to judge that how India is navigating the world order. Navigating means India is giving a direction to the world order, where USA is the system shaper. USA is shaping the entire system. But condition is that world is no longer a unipolar. Can anyone explain me this particular statement with any kind of example? Yes. System shaper. What does it mean? System shaper basically means that when we talk about institutions, international institutions, they all have Western influence. Let's take an example of IMF. IMF has the largest quota. I mean, USA has the largest quota in IMF. So they can shape the system. They can influence the international institutions. That is the power of USA that India does not have. Now, if we read it again, that how India navigates the world order, where USA is the system shaper. A disclaimer, world is no longer a unipolar. It was a unipolar. That was one example, IMF, which I have given. Now, see, this actually need a deeper understanding of the events. You need to add 2 to 3 examples in order to justify this whole statement as a whole. If you can recall about the news Financial Action Task Force, okay, which had put Pakistan on the grey list, and it threatened that if you cannot control this state-sponsored terrorism, we will put you on the blacklist. So, what was the consequences of putting in the blacklist? Financial help from various institutions like IMF. Okay, so that is the worst news event. Another news event is that IMF largest quota held by USA. We can say that USA is a system shaper. Now, what depends? It depends on the convergence of interest between India and USA. India wants to use, I mean, USA is very well aware about that India has importance in the region of Indo-Pacific and overall to counter China, because that has that emergent, that has that particular growth that can actually beat China if things has been properly channelized. And even USA has that kind of confidence in India that even though India will become a superpower, but the core strategic behavior will largely remain constant. That is freedom of navigation, rule-based order, or etc. Hence, USA wants to help India. It wants to support India, and India will be using this particular leverage as a bargain to put pressure on Pakistan's grey list. So they will navigate the world order. Now, how India will navigate the world order? The first foremost thing that India will be seeking is the peaceful neighbors, stable neighbors. Sorry, a grey list is a warning that you are under so much radar, and once you are in the blacklist, you won't be getting fund from IMF or from the World Bank. And Pakistan is a country; it is not yet Atmanirbhar. It is very much dependent on loans and advances. Hence, what Pakistan did, Pakistan started looking for other options like China. So that comes to the another point, that is de-dollarization. That will also cover ours. So my point of saying this is you have to broaden your prism when you are reading about India and USA, because USA is a superpower. Okay, so when we are saying that USA is a shape sister and India is navigating the global order, that basically means that India will be using USA as a leverage and its position as a bargain power to maintain the foremost thing is the stable neighborhood. The more stable neighborhood they have, the more spillover effects they have. And that will help India to grow. So once India will be growing, then and only then they will counter China. Okay, because USA cannot exceed its growth rate. They have that saturation. Okay, so India can exceed its growth rate because we are not yet saturated. We have so much of youth in country who wants to do productive work, but they are not able to. So that means we have to channelize those work to them. And once they are productive, they will earn money, they will spend money. Then demand-driven economy will turn into supply-driven economy sooner. Okay. So when we are saying that India and USA relationship works on two important things simultaneously. There are two things are working between India and USA simultaneously. First is the strategic divergence, and second is the strategic convergence. So these two things work simultaneously with India and USA. Okay, they are converging on various issues. They are diverging on various issues. Now, why this divergence? This divergence is basically because India wants to maintain its strategic autonomy. So this is the main theme of India-USA relationship, that they want to converge on some places and they want diverge on other places.